Hi, welcome to Fusion Beads. Today I'm going to show you how to make our elliptical earrings. These earrings feature size 11 matte opaque navy blue iris round seed beads, SuperDuo 2-hole beads in the opaque white and the denim blue polychrome, and it also features the SuperDuo Duet 2-hole seed beads in the polychrome cream and blueberry. For my beading thread, I'm using the FireLine 6-pound black satin beading thread. And then to finish my earrings off, I topped them off with a French hoop ear wire with a little 2mm bead. For my tools today, I'm using the size 11 Tulip beading needles, the Xuron thread and fiber scissors, and chain nose pliers. You can find links to all these beads and supplies in the description below. So let's get started. Okay, so to begin, I went ahead and I put 2 feet of the FireLine beading thread onto my needle. And to begin this stitch, we're going to start over on this side. So we're going to stitch all the way down and then continue up here. And then we'll come and we'll do the little loop for the ear wire. So the first bead I'm going to pick up is going to be this white SuperDuo right here. So I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to go through it a couple times to make it as kind of my stop bead. And then I'm going to jump up and pick up a duet and start my pattern, continue on down. So to do that, you pick up your SuperDuo going through one hole, leave a little bit of a tail. And on that same side, you go through the second hole, jump down to the second hole, not picking up any other beads. We're just going to anchor this guy down. And then on the flip side, we're going to go back through the hole we came in, 2, and then we're going to go down that bottom hole again. And then this way it just like anchors it, and so it kind of makes sure we're going to use this bead in our pattern, but it's also going to kind of act as like our stop bead. All right, so now that I've got that bead, got it right here, I'm going to pick up a duet, and I'm going to pick it up on the white side, so it's going to be this bead right here to begin our pattern. So pick up the duet and you bring it down next to your opaque white so they kind of seat up. Then you're going to jump to the top hole of that duet that you just picked up, not adding any more beads. And then we're going to continue this pattern. So I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads and then another duet. Again, picking it up on the white side because we're working in the little, because it's going to face my opaque white bead down there. So then, oops, if I can get this to sit so I can show you. So then I'm going to jump down to my second hole, the duet that I just picked up. And then I'm going to go through I'm going to jump down to the white SuperDuo below. So I'm going to go from this bottom hole to the top hole of the opaque white SuperDuo, and go through the bottom hole of the first duet that I added and just pull everything tight here, and then I can show you where we're sitting at. So I've got this little section here, so it's white solid, and then these half whites are touching that same white. So I'm doing this little corridor right here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn around, jump up here, go through this, jump to the top hole, go through those 2 seed beads, go through this top hole, and start working on this other section over here. I'm going to just not adding any beads, just going back through the pattern that I already had, going through all the beads. And it's always good to make sure that you go through or you check on both sides of your beadwork to make sure you didn't like miss a bead as you're going through anything. And 2, it's always best when you are working with 2-hole seed beads to make sure you kind of look at all your beads before you begin to make sure all the holes are open. 2- and 3-hole seed beads do have a tendency. Sometimes a hole can be blocked because of maybe the finish that is on the bead. So you always want to double check those holes because it can be frustrating if you can't get through there through the second hole. So continuing that same pattern, I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, and I'm going to pick up a duet. But this time I'm going to pick it up on the blue side because we're going to work in the blue part here. So I pick that up. I'm going to pull that down. Then I'm going to jump to the bottom hole of that same duet that I just picked up. So I got that little side there, and then I'm going to pick up a solid denim seed bead and pull it down there. I'll try to set it here so you can kind of see the pattern. So right now we were doing there, and now we're in this little section. So then I'm just going to go from the top hole of that denim to the bottom hole of this middle duet here and turn around. So I'm going to go through that top hole, and I'm also going to go through that opaque white next to it. And if your tail gets caught there like that, just make sure you get it out of there before you tighten everything up too much. So your thread. So now I've got this little section. I'm going to come out that white there. I'm going to turn around, and then I'm going to add my seed beads down here on the bottom. So coming out that top hole of that opaque white, I'm going to go through that bottom hole. And then I'm going to pick up one size 11. Go through the bottom hole of that denim that I just picked up. And then that's going to start my little inner core there. And as you can see, since how we just added the one and we have two beads on the outside there, it will start to make this like gentle arch as it goes down and stuff, because the sizing of the beads naturally fans it out. So now I'm ready to pick up one size 11 and another opaque white, because now we're going to jump over to this section here. So you really are just continuing this pattern of a white, blue, white, blue, white, blue, and then the duets, the white side faces the white bead and the blue side faces the blue bead. So it's a pretty simple pattern to stitch up as you're going along there. So coming out this bottom hole, jump to the top hole, and then I'm going to jump up to the duet right above it. Just want to turn you for the orientation there. And so coming out this bottom hole here. I'm going to jump up to the top hole, that same duet bead, but I'm not going to add any seed beads. I'm just going to jump up so I can turn around and continue my pattern. And seeing how there is a pattern to this little stitch, you definitely want to make sure you just like check it often, make sure you haven't missed anything or you didn't accidentally pick up, the blue side on the white side, because you don't really want to mess up your pattern halfway through there and not notice that. So it's just continuing the same pattern, pick up two seed beads, then I'm going to pick up a duet on the white side, because now I'm working on the white corridor there. Pull it all the way down. Jump to the second hole of that same duet. Jump to the first hole of that opaque white next to it. And just go through the opaque white, because we're going to turn around. And to turn around, you jump to the bottom hole, that same white bead, to turn yourself around. There. So again, we're just like stitching our way down there. So I'm just going to try to speed this up a little bit here. So now I'm at the spot where I pick up one seed bead and one blue SuperDuo. Then I'm going to jump to the top hole of that blue bead that I just picked up and go through the bottom hole of that duet right above it. Then I'm going to jump to the top hole of that same duet. So I get my orientation turned around there. Again, make sure you pull everything nice and tight, because you really want everything to be nice and snug there. And then I'm just going to keep continuing my pattern. So I pick up two seed beads. I'm going to pick up a duet on the blue side. So it faces down the blue bead there. I'm going to flip it over. Go through the bottom hole of that same duet I picked up, and then go through the top hole of the denim next to it. There. Then I'm just going to jump to the bottom hole, that same denim. So I get turned around and continue my pattern on down. So I go ahead and pick up one seed bead, one opaque white, pull everything down here next to it. Then I'm going to jump up to the top hole of that opaque white and go through the bottom hole of the duet right next to it. Then I'm going to jump to the top hole, not adding any beads, just jumping up to that bead there, top hole of that, and pull it down. So I'm just going to turn it around, show you the orientation. So you can tell I've got white corridor, I've got my blue corridor, white corridor, and then I've got my blue corridor, and I'm starting another white. So I'm just going to continue that pattern down until I get about here, and then I'm going to show you how to do that little corner section, and then we'll continue up. So we'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I went ahead and I've completed one side of my earring here. So I've pretty much on our pattern, I've gone all the way down here, and I'm coming out this white bead right here. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do this little section here. So I'm going to be picking up a seed bead and another white opaque bead to make this little kind of corner point. And then I'm going to jump to the top hole of the white bead that I just picked up. And then I'll just pull everything nice and tight there. And get this turned around. So now I'm coming out the top hole of this white bead, and then I'm going to pick up one duet on the white side, and then I'm going to pick up a solid blue denim. So picking up one duet, and I'm going to be going through the bottom hole of both of the beads I just picked up, the same hole, because the way that I want them to sit next to each other. And then I'm coming out that bottom hole, and I'm going to go into the bottom hole of this duet bead right next to it. All right, so there. So I've got this little kind of corner part here. So that's kind of what I've added here so far. So I'm coming out this bottom hole of this duet guy right there, and then I'm going to jump to the top hole, and then I'm going to add my seed beads to get in the spacing there. So I'm going to just jump up to the top hole of that duet, not adding any beads yet. And make sure you just pull everything really tight because you kind of want this corner to like seat up really well. And then I'm going to pick up two seed beads, go through the top hole of that Denim SuperDuo, and then go two more seed beads and go through the duet. And this is kind of a tight little corner, so the two seed beads will kind of pop out a little bit, but that is how it is for the design. So then I go through the hole of the next one there, pull everything super tight. And there. So now we've got our little like corner part, and then I'm just going to continue this pattern on up the other side. So I'm going to add two more seed beads. And then I'm going to add another duet on the white side because I'm just starting the white corridor over here. Then I'm going to jump up to the top hole of that duet I just picked up and go through the bottom hole of the opaque white next to it. And pull everything down. There. So we've done our little corner part. Then I'm just going to turn around, jump to the top hole of that opaque white, and continue on my pattern here. So my next bead I'm going to pick up. And two, it's always good to just flip over your beadwork, make sure your needle or your thread hasn't gotten caught on any beads or anything as you're stitching along. So I go ahead and I pick up one more seed bead, and then I'm going to pick up a solid denim. I'm going to pull that down, jump to the bottom hole of that Denim SuperDuos. And then I'm going to jump up to the top hole of the duet right next to it. Pull everything tight, and then I'm going to just turn around. I'm going to jump to the bottom hole of that duet. Pull everything tight. So then I'm going to go ahead and continuing that pattern, pick up two seed beads, pick up a duet, except for that is a denim that got in the wrong pile. Duet on the denim side. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that down. jump to the top hole of that duet I just picked up and jump to the bottom hole of the denim SuperDuo next to it. Then to turn around, I'm going to jump to the top hole, that same denim, and pull everything nice and tight and snug. So now you can see from over here that we're in this section here, and then I'm just going to continue on up till I meet the top part, and then I'm going to do another corner, and then we're going to do the little picot. So I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I went ahead and I completed my other side of my earring. So now, looking over here, I'm here at this point, so I'm going to just connect these two white opaque beads, and then I'll be adding a denim up here at the top and connecting those two. So coming out of the bottom hole of the opaque white, I'm going to just pick up one seed bead, then I'm going to jump over to the bottom hole of the first opaque white that we started with. Just going through the white bead, not the little seed bead next to it, so I can turn around and do the top part. Just like cinch this guy together here. Get the tail out of the way. So I've bridged that gap, and then I'm going to jump up to the top hole, go through that, go through the bottom hole of that duet, and then I'm going to grab one denim. I'm going to go ahead and make my turn, get turned around. So coming out of that bottom hole, I'm going to pick up a denim, the duet, and then I'm going to go in the bottom hole of the duet on my other side. That will cinch my top part together. Get my tail out of the way here. There we go. So there, I've got my little top part pretty much done. So then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to jump up to this top hole, add 2 seed beads, go through the top hole of the denim, add 2 seed beads, and go through the top hole of this duet. Now that I jumped to the top hole, go ahead and pick up the 2 seed beads, go through the top hole of the denim, pick up 2 more seed beads, and go through the top hole of the duet next to me. So then I'm going to jump down to that bottom hole, that duet that I just came out of. I'm going to go back through the bottom hole of the denim next to it. And this is just to kind of tighten that up. And then I'm going to go through the bottom hole of that duet next to it too. Just to kind of pull that that corner in there. Let me get the tail out of the way. So there. So now I've pretty much have got my point there. And you can tell it's a little like wobbly compared to this guy because I'd gone back in and reinforced that. And I'll talk about that here in a little bit. So now that I'm coming out this side, I'm going to jump up to this top hole, go through these 2 seed beads. I'm going to go through the top hole of this, and then I'm going to add seed beads for my little loop to attach my ear wire. And just make sure when you're going back through your beads to do that here, that you get through all the seed beads. You don't want to like go through one and miss the other one because it will warp your earring shape a little bit. So now that I'm coming out of the top hole of that denim there, I'm going to pick up 5 seed beads to create a beaded loop so that I have something to attach my ear wire to. And I always, when I do a loop of like this, you always want to do an odd number so that it sits to a nice point. So not going through any of the seed beads that were already in the piece. I just added 5, went through that top hole there, and then I'm going to go back through those 5 again to reinforce that. I'll make sure that point is like nice and strong to have to attach to the ear wire. Then just go back through SuperDuo again and pull everything nice and tight. There. So see, there you go. I've got my little loop with my 5 beads on there. I've got both sides of my earring. So now it's pretty much finished. You could go through that loop one more time if you want to, 3rd time, just for extra reinforcement. So now what I'm going to do is, coming out of my top hole of this SuperDuo, I'm going to go and I'm going to jump down to the inner core here. I'm going to go through all of these beads in this inner core, come up the other side, kind of just to tighten this up. And as you're doing that, you want to make sure that you're pulling it tight, but not so tight that you're like puckering your earring. You don't want it to like start to kind of turn and stuff like that. So you'll go through that one time, and then you'll jump up to the outside core. And I went through all of those one more time to just kind of reinforce it. And I just went through it one pass on each, the inner and the outer, and then you have a nice tight earring like this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and just tie off my thread as if I went ahead and I reinforced it and stuff. So I'm going to tie that off really quick. So as if I went and reinforced my whole little earring here. Whoops, I caught my thread on there. Caught my thread on my little loop. There. So to tie off your thread, you want to go down through a couple of beads and then do some half hitch knots. So to do that, coming out of a bead, go up underneath the beads, creating a loop. Go through that loop with your needle, and then you pull that loop tight down to the beading thread. And I'm going to do one more there. So then the knot just gets hidden back there behind the seed beads. So then I'm just going to jump through those seed beads, 2 seed beads there, and the duet next to it. And I'm going to do a couple more half hitch knots, just to make sure my piece is nice and secure. Go through a couple more seed beads and the duets to just pull my tail through there. There. I'm going to go ahead and cut that off because I have my 4 half hitch knots that have got it nice and secure. So you want to do the same in the same fashion with your tail. You want to go ahead and just weave in your tail a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and cut mine just so I can show you how to attach the ear wire. But you'll want to go ahead and weave in your tail a little bit too with some half hitch knots to just extra secure that. And so that now that everything's done, you've cut all your threads and everything, you go ahead and you're going to attach your ear wire. So grabbing your ear wire and a pair of chain nose pliers, you grab the loop and gently open the loop to the side. String on your earring, going through just the loop there of the seed beads that you added, and then gently close it. And there you have your completed ellipse earrings. You can find the products and tools for this inspiration design at fusionbeads.com.